to my video on the callouts of Consulate. In this video, I'll cover all common callouts that the community uses, but also some callouts I've heard from pro players or streamers. I think this video will be useful to a lot of people, especially the newer ones, but do note that callouts also differ among teams. You and your 5-stack might have your own callouts, so it's up to you to modify to your suiting. I'm just telling you the popular callouts that most of the community understands.
We need to locate a bomb.
Alright, so I'll start with the spawn locations, and then I'll go from basement to the first floor and finally second floor. I think that works the best. This spawn location here is called gas station. Whereas this spawn location here is called police line. Sometimes people call it police trucks. Well, that's fine because these are our police trucks. But yeah, usually people call it police line. So this spawn location is called riot barricade, but no one really calls it riot barricade. So people usually call it bus spawn because there's a bus here. And usually that callout is useful for like a dog or Jaeger that is spawn peeking from that window or this window. They'll aim at the buses or this tree and they'll pre-fire here and get some nasty kills. This spawn point is called side entrance, and it's the official name as well. People always call it side entrance. Out here, it's called the courtyard. I don't know how useful this callout is because as defenders, you're not really gonna jump out all the way to courtyard. Well, you shouldn't. Out here, this is called the garage ramp or outside garage, or another callout I've heard is outside breach, because usually people will breach this wall and they just say outside breach. If they're hiding here, usually the callout is behind car or behind truck, whatever you call this vehicle. Now let's start with garage. Garage, as you can see, is huge, so your callouts must be very specific. This location here is called default because usually as attackers, when you breach this wall and kill the anchors that are holding the site wherever it is, you usually smoke this location and plant the bomb here. So this is usually called default bomb site or default plant site, but people just call it default because it's shorter. When someone hides here, it's called dustbin or trash can. Here it's called radio when someone's hiding here, peeking radio. I've heard people call it peeking sink, but that's very unpopular, so up to you. Some call it tools because there's a tool here, like that's also up to you. When someone's hiding here, the callout is called pipes. Sometimes people call this area pipes as well, but it gets really confusing because you're not sure whether it's behind the pipes or in front of the pipes. So be careful. Be more specific and say behind pipes or front pipes if you want to use pipes as your callout. Here, if there's a defender hiding here and quick peeking, this is called pillar. I've heard people call it blue tarp, but that's very unpopular. The most popular callout is called pillars. Behind this white van is called behind white van. Here, usually the callout is left, behind white van left side, because you're giving callouts from this perspective as the attacker. Similarly, this is the right side. This hole here is the default rotation, so usually people call it default rotation. Now we're in the cafeteria. Usually people call it cafeteria. I've heard people call it cafe, restaurant, or dining hall, kitchen, many things. But the best callout is cafeteria or cafe. This room is called security. Some people call it small office or just office. In my opinion, office is a bad callout because there's a lot of offices in this map. So the best callout is security or small office, because small office does make sense because it's very small compared to other offices in this map. This hallway is usually called security hallway or pipe hallway because that's a pipe and this is a hallway. Here, this area is usually referred to as bottom of spiral. No one calls it locker hallway because locker hallway goes all the way here and it's not specific and no one knows like locker hallway as a callout. So this is bottom of spiral. Sometimes people call it bottom of black stairs because these stairs are also sometimes called black stairs. But usually people call these stairs spiral stairs because it's shaped as a spiral. This room here is called storage. Don't call it anything else. This room here is called electric room. Sometimes people call it generator. That's fine. This room is called archives and it's also a bomb site. Do not call it blue because this is not blue. This is archives. When someone's by these area, sometimes it's called archive catwalk, but you don't really have to be specific because archives usually doesn't have many anchors. But yeah, so that this whole platform is called archives platform or archives catwalk. This area where a lot of roamers or anchors for this bomb site like to hide is called archives sandwich because it's sandwiched between two shelves. This is archives hatch. So when someone's hiding here, it's usually called archives hatch. Now this room is called blue, not that room. This is the official name is archives corridor, but that's a horrible call out because it's confusing. So just call this whole corridor blue. Bottom of these stairs is called Harry Potter. These stairs are called visa stairs. Sometimes you might hear narrow stairs, but that's very, very rare. No one calls this service stairs. Well, sometimes they do, but that's a bad call out because it's very confusing. Alright. I think I've covered everything in the basement, right? Okay. So up the visa stairs, now we're going into tellers. This area is called tellers. When someone's hiding here, it's called teller's half wall because this wall is not extended all the way through. It's only half the entire height, so it's called half wall. This area is called visa or visa office. Usually people call it visa, but visa is very big, so be more specific. This is visa soda or visa hatch because there's a hatch here, but there's a hatch here as well. When people give the call out visa hatch, it's very confusing because they could mean that or that. So usually when people say visa hatch, they mean this hatch. Sometimes people call it flag hatch, but that's also very, very uncommon. So just call it visa hatch. And that hatch, people usually call it soda hatch because it's close to a soda can. A soda vending machine, sorry, my bad. This room here that we passed just now, sometimes people say it's visa stairs, but it's a bit confusing because this is visa stairs and down here is visa stairs as well. So my personal call out, I call this castle soda because usually when someone's anchoring or like defending a bomb site of tellers and archives, this door will be castled off. And there's a soda machine here, so when someone's hiding here, usually I just say castle soda and my team understands. This window here is visa window because this is the only window that is directly connected to visa office. Do not get confused with this window. This window is usually called south window because it's from the south, right? Or sometimes it's called soda window. But visa window is this one. Alright, we're passing visa hallway. Here is first floor spiral. Sometimes I've heard people say statue because there's a statue here. That makes sense as well. This room is called main lobby. Sometimes people call it circle desk. I personally call it circle desk as well. When someone's hiding here, they say circle hatch or circle desk hatch. That's up to you what you want to call it, really. This area is called antechamber, but sometimes people call it bathroom hallway. I don't have a problem with that call out. It does make sense because it's a hallway in front of the bathroom, so it's up to you what you want to call it. This is bathroom. Do bear in mind there's another bathroom at second floor, so if you're not specific, it might get confusing. So say first floor bathroom or public bathroom. Public bathroom is only first floor. The second floor is not public bathroom, it's just bathroom. This room here is called piano because there's a piano. Do not call it press room. No one calls it press room, alright? These are piano windows, and this is piano desk. Sometimes people call it podium. That's fine. Just call it piano desk. People will understand. It's useful when you're an attacker out here, like grappling, and you see someone by piano desk. Probably there's a player playing from garage, and they can throw a nade. I'm not sure, like, if you can get a nade up there. Probably an angle, but yeah, this is piano desk. I think that's all for first floor, right? Now, for second floor, oh wait, I forgot. The staircase is called yellow stairs. All the way from here to the basement that we covered. It leads to radio and pipes. This, like I said, is yellow door. And this is yellow window. Do not confuse it with this. This is not a window. This is yellow window. Up there is a yellow skylight. Whoever calls it yellow window is wrong. That's yellow skylight. Actually, I kind of forgot this corridor. So this corridor here, some people call it west corridor, which is a horrible call out, by the way. Do not call it west corridor. Some people call it benches. I guess that makes sense because there are benches here. But the best call out is just calling it Zulu. The reason it's called Zulu is because it's a corridor that is shaped like a Z. So it's made popular by Pengu from G2. I've also heard people call it the back corridor or Z corridor. Let's go up yellow stairs to second floor and cover everything up there. This area is called yellow breach because you can breach the wall and get to the bomb site if you upside down rappel there, or you just drop here and put a breach charge here or a breach charge here. So usually attackers are always breaching the walls here, so it's called yellow breach. I've heard people call it yellow push because people push the bomb site from here as well. It makes sense, it's up to you. So this area is called front desk. It's a really confusing name because there's also a desk that looks like a front desk there, but when people say front desk, they really mean this desk. Do not confuse it with that desk because this is front desk. Sometimes people call it corridor, just corridor, because like this is the most popular and most high traffic corridor in all of second floor, but it's a bad call out, so just call it front desk. Sometimes people call it bathroom corridor as well, but that's also a bad call out because down there antechamber is called bathroom hallway, so just call it front desk really. Here is bathroom. The exact call it is private bathroom, but I've never really heard people call it private bathroom, so just call it second floor bathroom or just bathroom. It's fine if you're defending a second floor bomb site. So if you're just defending second floor and someone's rumbling by the bathroom window, just say, oh, bathroom window. This table is not front desk, it's called long desk. Unanimously, all of the community, the pro players, low ranks, high ranks, everyone calls this long desk. So do not call it front desk. This area from here to here is called soda machine or vending machine. Now, it might be confusing because there's been several vending machines and several soda machines throughout the map, but this is the most popular vending machine and soda machine. Usually attackers will cross this area, so it's very high traffic, so people just call it soda / vending machine. This room has no universally recognized name, to be honest. It's really a shame. Some people call it front office, but it's a bit confusing because that desk over there is called front desk. But front office is okay, I guess. The most common call out I hear is the small room in front of admin. That's also a bad call out because there's several rooms leading to admin, like this room and that room. I've heard people call it painting office because there's these two paintings, which is also kind of bad because no one really realizes there's a painting there. So you guys have to figure it out what you want to call it. I'll call it front office for now. This is admin. As you can see, admin is huge, so you need to be specific with your call-ups. This area is like used to be called Jaeger because Jaeger would just sit here and put some ADS and just be a nuisance. So usually people call it Jaeger spot, but recently Dock and Rook mains are also sitting here because they can spawn peek by opening this window. See, they can spawn peek. So I call it North Admin because it's pointing to the north of the campus. North of the compass, my bad. Yeah, so North Admin makes the most sense in my opinion, but it's really up to you. This is usually called Cabinet Admin or South Admin. People call it Cabinet Admin because you can kind of like vault up this cabinet and like maybe spawn peek someone who's spawning from police line. But yeah, it's really up to you what you want to call it. This wall is breachable and people usually call it Visa Breach or Visa Soft Wall or Admin Facing Visa. You choose which one you want to call out of those options. This room here is called break room or pantry. Do not call it kitchen because it's not really a kitchen, it's confusing. Call it break room or pantry. Right. This room here is called copy room. Some people call it paper because there's a lot of paper on the ground and on the tables. Some people call it photocopy because this is somehow a room to photocopy stuff, I guess. Whichever is fine. Just choose out of copy, paper, or photocopy. Those three are fine. Alright. So this room that we passed by just now, which is also a bomb site, this room is called console office or just console. Sometimes people call it CEO. I personally call it CEO as well. It's really down to choice, but it's either called console office or CEO. This area where anchors like to hang out and pre-fire windows, this area is called CEO or console cubby. I've heard people call it CEO couch or console couch, but that's very confusing because these are couches. So really you should just call it cubby. Some people call it hatch as well, CEO hatch or console hatch. That kind of makes sense, I guess, but I personally call it just console cubby. So moving over to this, This room is called Connector. I know it says waiting room in the compass, but do not call it waiting room because it just doesn't make sense. You can wait here, you can wait here, so what does waiting room really mean, right? So just call this area Connector because you connect B to A. I've heard a streamer call it white sofa. I've also heard another streamer call it couch. I personally think those callouts are bad, but this is a white sofa, I think, and these could be understood as couches as well. So really just call it Connector, and that's Connector window. Finally, this bomb site is called Projector. The official name is meeting room. Some people call it meeting room as well. I'm okay with that as well. So it's up to you if you want to call it meeting room or projector, because there's a projector there. I think in Pro League they always call this room Projector. So yeah, it's really up to you. So moving over. Oh wait, I think I've covered this part already. Finally, this up here, second floor spiral. Do not call it statue because statue refers to first floor. Do not call it garden because it's also referring to first floor. Call it second floor on top of spiral or second floor spiral. This is spiral skylight. So when you hear the callouts just skylight, that's actually a bad callout because there's spiral skylight as well as yellow skylight up there. So you need to really be specific with which skylight you're referring to, right? Sometimes people raffle from here. These are called spiral windows. It's not really glass and it cannot be breached and you cannot go in. However, attackers can shoot you if you're hiding behind a long desk. So be careful. If someone calls out, oh, won by spiral windows, this is what they mean. I guess that covers all of this map. I guess there's nothing much else. This general area up here is just called rooftop or just roof. Oh yeah, I forgot. So this is called balcony. Usually attackers like Blackbeard likes to hang out here. So calling it balcony makes sense, I guess. That is the end of the video. I think we covered everything there is to cover on this map. Sure, I did skip a few, like the general area outside, but like it's not really. Maybe some people want to know more about it. People call it island or whatever. But like the most important callouts, which is inside the building itself, I've covered most of it. So before I end the video, as always, I'll show you a fun tip, which is that a lot of people don't know that the top of spiral can be breached, as in the floor is breachable. So for example, you're an attacker, you want to nade someone at main lobby or circle desk, you can throw a grenade and kill them. I guess that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. It helps me tremendously. Share it with your friends, with your teammates, so you can improve together. If you love my videos and want to catch up with more of my videos in the future where I cover other maps, please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you do not miss them. I'll cover most of the maps and I'll have some of my friends cover the rest. I'll make a playlist of all the maps. I guess that's all, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!